Hi everyone, welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host Iggy. How you guys doing? Today we're going to look at some reproductions of Marx Civil War figures, plus a caisson that was manufactured in the spirit of a Marx Cannon and Caisson set. However, it has some improvement over the original, and I believe it was made by CTS, Classic Toy Soldiers. Now, this top one here, I purchased from a company called Battlefield Legends back in March of 2018. It's a Confederate caisson, which you can tell immediately because it has the dove gray caisson rider and outrider. The horses appear to be Marx reproductions. However, the caisson is much more detailed and complete than an original Marx one. For instance, this second wagon with the ammunition boxes was not present in the original Cannon and Caisson set. And I have some photographic evidence that would indicate that, and also the instructions from the original Civil War set. You'll notice that it has a spare wheel here. Now you know that the suspension on these types of vehicles was very rough, and so it would be easy to snap an axle or break a wheel, so that's why they carried an extra. It wasn't because they wanted to imitate a Lincoln Continental, although that is pretty cool. And the second group is from the blue and gray playset. And they also, of course, used these throughout the career of the Civil War sets. The last set came in a cardboard container and was quite small and did not have was not rich with accessories like the previous sets were. It was an economy type of set, and sadly it was the last one ever produced. However, the blue and gray came with lots of cool stuff, and later the Centennial set, which I think came out 2 years afterwards, had oodles of what's that mean, oodle? I would like Swedish meatballs with oodles, please. They had the Centennial Figures, and the Centennial Figures, they also came in blue and gray, although they were the same figures, whereas the Union infantry and Confederate infantry were different. The Centennial Figures were identical. They were just cast in different colors. And depending on what year you purchased your set or where you purchased it from is how you got either the powder blue Centennial figure or the light gray Centennial or medium gray Centennial Confederate figures. Now, there's a lot you can learn about when the figures were produced, who sculpted them, what sets they came in, and everything in a book that I'm going to present to you in just a few minutes. And I think it's a book that I recommend to you very highly. And it's richly illustrated. There's not a single page that doesn't have sorry, I'm shaking. That's a little better. I've stabilized a little bit there. But we'll get into that. And I'm shaking again. I have to hold this with both hands. Okay, these are the cavalry figures and also some caisson riders. And here's an outrider. Here's the Confederate officer in slouch hat and a cavalryman. Let's see if I can get you up a little closer in here. Now, I think these Civil War figures are some of the finest figures that Marx produced. They're very popular with collectors to this day. Now, I still have some of my originals that I think I've showed to you already. In fact, this one here I thought was an original because see how it's that dingy powder blue color? But that was probably because they had a dirty mold or something. These Caisson riders and outriders. Then I have some Confederate cavalry. Here's 2 officers. I never noticed this, but he looks like my sister's, well, he's passed away now, but her husband looked like this guy. My sister, she's really into vintage styles, and she loves antiques, and she actually dressed her husband up in a vintage costume, and he went along with it. He was pretty game. I thought that was pretty cool that he went along with it. A lot of guys are like, I'm not wearing that. Of course, Iggy has no problem putting on those things. Okay, so those are the Confederates. They look, because of the intensity of my phone light, it's, oh, there you go. That's a little better contrast. See the difference in the color? Now, these I purchased from a group called McShawn's Closet, and they're based in Tennessee, and I think they're still in business. I haven't been ordering anything for a while because I've been pinching pennies lately. Well, actually for a while now. But these I purchased in, I think, 2017. And I believe that these I got in 2018, these riders. These were sold separately. So I mentioned to you that the original Marx did not have this extravagant looking rig. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for you guys. I'll try. But when I tried to present this book, it kept closing and I accidentally turned the camera off. Okay, here's the book I was referring to, Marx Civil War Sets. This book is wonderful. If you're into the Civil War sets and you're interested in collecting again, or even if you're just interested in seeing pictures of what you had when you were a boy, this book will do the job for you. It's I don't know if Kathy Kern is Russell's sister or his wife. I don't want to say that's his wife and turns out to be his sister. So I'll just say the Kerns. Anyway, it's richly photographed. Some of the photographs I think are very artistic. And I'm going to show you an example of that if I can hold the book open. Yeah, here it is. I gotta be very careful here. Check this photograph out, guys. It's beautiful. It looks blurry to me. Is it my vision or the camera? I always ask that, but my vision is failing, and so everything is starting to get blurry on me. But isn't that a cool picture? I want to show it to you spread out, but it's very, since this is a new book and it's not cracked, it's very hard to show a picture that's spread between 2 pages. But that's pretty cool. Now, as far as the cannon, the playset had 2 different cannons, a smaller firing cannon like this one, and then they had one that was for the caisson, which was larger. Of course, it also came with a large mortar and a small mortar that came with the camp accessories. Okay, now here's an illustration from the instructions, and you can see here that it's missing the second wagon. And this is the larger cannon that was available in the original. And you can get copies of this too, still to this day. But see the difference between that and this one here? Oh God, my hand's really shaky. I'm sorry, guys. Well, there's a nice view of my trash can. I'm in the kitchen trying to film this for you. But I recommend this book. It's richly illustrated, has a lot of very useful information. All right, guys, that's my Marx Reproduction Civil War Union Troops, a spattering of Confederate cavalrymen, and a new and improved caisson. And once again, I purchased this from Battlefield Legends and from McShawn's Closet. I got these, and these were sold separately, and I bought those also from McShawn's Closet. All right, that's all I have for you. It was a pleasure presenting these to you. It was very exciting to me when I found them. They were still sealed in the shipping box from McShawn's Closet. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what was going on back in 2018, but I just threw it into the tub and forgot about it. So rediscovering it is, of course, very exciting. Now, you guys know that I've presented Civil War figures to you before. I still have more to show you. I have a whole bunch of these done in they were produced in a Federal blue. Now, oddly enough, yes, the Union troops wore a kersey blue trouser, but they wore a Federal blue, which was a dark blue jacket. And the figures, I thought, well, I'll get them in this dark blue and just paint the legs. And I never did that, of course. So they're in a very dark blue. When I find those, I of course will share them with you at a later date. All right, guys. For those of you enlisted in the Iggy Army, I want to thank you and keep collecting, keep enjoying your collection, and take them out. There's no reason why bugs and mice get to enjoy it and you don't. Unless you have a wife that really hates this kind of thing, then you better be cautious. I had a girlfriend that told me to throw out my soldiers because she said, "You're not a child." Actually, I am, I suppose, but a mature child, one that's been seasoned, I guess, with spices. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, she made me throw them out, so I threw them in the garbage, and then when she left, I took them out and hid them. And she's long gone, but I still have the soldiers she told me to throw out. So I'm very glad that I went back into the trash and recovered them. I wonder if she knew that I did that. She never said anything about it again. Anyway, post sentries on your collection and maybe some pickets. You don't want people forcing you to throw stuff out. And you don't want to get rid of stuff unless you're going to make money on it. Personally, I enjoy it more than the money would be worth to me. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for you this time. If you haven't done so, why don't you enlist in the Iggy Army and fall in with the other soldiers? Hit the notification bell, of course, that you can keep up on stuff. It's sort of sporadic when I release videos. The reason for that is I have to go to storage and dig stuff out. And sometimes I just don't feel like going because it's so hot outside. In my storage space, it's probably 110. I wouldn't doubt it. It's pretty brutal. Anyway, the next video I'm going to do for you. What is my next video? I'll have to see. There was some strange things in the tub that I dug up this time, so we'll see. Hopefully something you find interesting. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for you. Let's say goodnight and take care. Stay healthy. Stay proud. Don't let anyone talk you into throwing out your figures. Bye.